In this example, we have the floor plans of two similar rooms. And so what I want to do is I want to start with this chart we've talked about in the past couple of videos. Even though nothing in the problem tells me to make this chart, I think it's going to be very helpful to answer the questions they're going to ask me. So to begin the chart, I need to figure out what I know about both rooms. And in this case, I can see that what corresponds, or what I have matching up, are those two sides, 14 and 10. Well, when I know that two sides match up, I'm able to find the scale factor. So my scale factor is going to be 10 over 14. Of course, I'll simplify that, dividing both numerator and denominator by 2. I get a scale factor of 5 over 7. Well, the perimeter ratio, as we've discussed, is the same as the scale factor, so that's also 5 over 7. And then to find my area ratio, I need to square both of those individual numbers. 5 squared is 25. And 7 squared is 49. So my area ratio is going to be 25 over 49. Well, let's go ahead and read the question then and see what they're asking me to do now that I have this chart figured out. The first question says, I'm putting up a border, and they've gone ahead and made this very clear what's going on. I'm putting this border, like wallpaper border, around the perimeter of the room. It's $75 to put it up in the bedroom, the smaller room. I want to know how much will it be to put up around the den. Well, since it's $75 for that small room, I know the bigger room is going to be a little bit larger. So the reason I made this chart is I need to make sure that I pick the right ratio to use in my proportion. Since we're dealing with something that involves perimeter, I'm of course going to pick my perimeter ratio. So let's go ahead and write a proportion using 5 over 7, the ratio of the perimeters of the rooms. I'll set that equal to, since 75 is the cost of the bedroom, which is the smaller room, I'll put 75 in the numerator where the smaller number is on the other side of the fraction. Over, we'll say x for the cost of the border in the den. So there's my proportion set up using the information from my chart. So let's go ahead and do just some cross multiplying to solve this proportion. So 5 times x is going to be equal to, oops, I didn't write that number down. All I wrote down was my answer. One second. It's equal to 525. Sorry, I had to grab my calculator real quick. I'll divide both sides by 5. This is the answer I wrote down. That gave me 105. And since we're dealing with cost, it's going to be $105 to put up a border around the larger of the two rooms. Okay? Next question is also going to use this chart. The next question talks about putting carpet down in the den. $225 to put carpet down in the den. Well, once again, I have to make sure that I start my proportion using the appropriate ratio from my chart. Well, since I'm dealing with carpeting or tiling or wood floors or whatever, this is a ratio that's going to involve, or this is an idea that's going to involve area. So I have to make sure down here I'm picking the area ratio to use because I'm covering the entire floor with the carpet. So my area ratio is going to be 25 over 49. This problem will not work if you use the wrong ratio, so make sure you pick the right one. 225 is the cost for the den, the larger room, so that 225 will have to be in the bottom of the fraction, and I'll put x in the numerator for the cost of carpeting in the smaller room. Doing some cross multiplying and dividing, again I didn't write my work down so I'm just going to get the answer for you. I trust that you guys know how to solve a proportion. Cross multiplying and dividing got me an answer of $114.80. So less than the cost of the den because the bedroom was a slightly smaller room.